The recording now. Okay, I wanted to come on right quick because I wanted to go over the Pfizer thing right quick. I want to bring out um a valid point here. So let me just share my screen so I can get right into it. Share my screen. Go right here. This is the first page on the Pfizer document, right? And let's just read right quick. I don't want to lose it. It says the Department of Justice, the Department Office of the Inspector General (OIG) undertook this review to examine certain actions by the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the department during an FBI investigation into whether individuals associated with Donald J. Trump for president campaign were coordinating wittingly or unwittingly with the Russian government. The FBI's counterintelligence investigation, known as Crossfire Hurricane, was opened on July 31st, 2016, weeks after the Republican National Convention formally nominated Trump as its candidate for president, and several months before the November 8th, 2016 elections, through which Trump was elected president of the United States. On May 17th, 2017, the Crossfire Hurricane investigation was transferred from the FBI to the Office of Special Counsel upon the appointment of Special Counsel Robert S. Mueller III to investigate Russian interference with the 2016 presidential election and related matters. The FBI opened Crossfire Hurricane in July 2016 following the receipt of certain information from a friendly foreign government. That's very important, right? According to the information provided by the FFG, the friendly foreign government, in May 2016, a Trump campaign foreign policy advisor, George Papadopoulos, suggested to the FFG official that the Trump campaign had received some kind of suggestion from Russia that it could assist with the anonymous release of information that would be damaging to Hillary Clinton, Trump's opponent in the presidential election at that time, and President Barack Obama. At the time the FBI received the FFG information, the U.S. intelligence community, which includes the FBI, was aware of Russian efforts to interfere with the 2016 U.S. elections, including efforts to infiltrate servers and steal emails belonging to the Democratic National Committee and the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. The FFG shared this information with the State Department on July 26, 2016, after the internet site WikiLeaks began releasing emails hacked from computers belonging to the DNC and Clinton's campaign manager. The State Department advised the FBI of the information the next day. I'm going to go back, but I wanted to. Okay, so no, it's not there. This page one, I'm sorry. Going through this is a lot, so be patient in this video because going through this is a lot. But what I wanted to bring up, now they're accusing President Trump of pressuring President Zelensky to help him in the campaign election for for President Trump to become president again, that he's pressuring Zelensky to give him certain information to do this, right? But I want to take you right over here. If it's wrong, if it's in fact wrong for the president to get any information from a foreign agency, let me just show you what a FFG is. Okay, because it seems to me as if the FFG was going to help the FBI with some information. I want somebody to explain to me how that is different. Why I hate this thing? That's the one thing about Zoom is it does this. I don't have time for the Zoom. Move out the way. Let's define what an FFG is, okay? Because they're getting information from the FFG about this campaign stuff, right? A friendly foreign country means any country not a member of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization and specified as a friendly foreign country in the report required under 10 United States Code. That's the code. Friendly foreign countries: Austria, Brazil, Bulgaria, Finland, India, Singapore, South Africa, Sweden, Switzerland, and the Ukraine. So information can come in from the Ukraine. But I just wanted to bring this out as if they made it as if the president was actually pressuring Zelensky to give him some information when they actually had a meeting of the minds. Because if you go back to that transcript, President Zelensky says, and you too, you give us the information too. So that's a meeting of the minds. That's not pressure. That's not pressure. But it just goes to show that it's okay for the Democratic side to reach out to foreign agencies to get information. But somehow a meeting of the minds is impeachable. That makes no sense. I want people to be aware that you need to really comb through this document because it says a lot about how easily an investigation can be started on a civilian. All it takes is an allegation, and then they can monitor you for up to 90 days without you knowing about it. Longer than that, if they could make up. Now, these people were making up stuff about Trump. You have to go through this whole document, but I wanted to go through my points. The first point was they reached out to a foreign government to help them with information on an election, information about Trump's election. The dossier that they're talking about that Christopher Steele was in charge of getting information from was from Russia. He was getting information from Russia. That was going to help them in the election. And if you go through this, because it's too many pages, the one thing that really stands out that clarifies the statement that I just made, or that supports the statement that I just made, is the email conversation between Lisa Page, and I'm not sure if it's McCabe, Evans, whoever it was she was talking to, where she says, Trump is not going to be president, right? And the response to her was, no, no, we'll stop it. And that they need to come in and testify because we need to know what no, 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 we'll stop it means. Because as long as I've been voting, how I understand it is you have the electoral college vote and you have the popular vote. Now, you can win with the popular vote, and most times the electoral college will just go along with go along with the popular vote. Like they'll just give you their vote because you got the popular vote, right? Or you could do like President Trump did and win the electoral college, and he won 63 million votes from the American people. So you can win like that, either or a mixture of two, or on the popular vote, and like I said, the electoral college will follow. So I would like to know how he proposed to stop it. What is stopping it? How are you going to stop it? How are you going to stop it? Please explain to us. They need to come in and explain that. And Lisa Page, she acted like the victim. She really acted like she's scared and she's some type of victim. But in all actuality, throughout her conversation, throughout here, the comments that she was making about the president, and in that email where she's like, well, he's not going to be president, right? He's not going to be president, right? Like she's looking for some assurance. She seems so empowered. She doesn't seem like a person who scares easily. She seems like a person that's empowered. She wanted what she wanted. And now all of a sudden, when she got busted, because they knew this was coming out, when she got busted, all of a sudden she's a victim. I feel scared for my life. But meanwhile, she was plotting to overthrow the presidency or steal the presidency from President Trump. And she didn't feel in fear of her life or anything at that point. Now, let me see if I can get to this. I hope I can get to this place because it really brought out a valid point. 141. Really did. But yep, they used foreign agency themselves to get some clarification in the election process, what was going on, what information they thought they had. They used it. So let me see. It was a piece of information that was very important that I wanted to bring out here. But they have nothing. They really have nothing. They know they have nothing. This report right here, people say, "Oh, this is just a nothing burger." This whole thing is incriminating. The FBI did not do their job at all. Christopher Steele was not a credible source. Um, they only ran with a former employer of his who had nothing but good things to say, but they didn't listen to the other side, the bad things that people had to say, that he lacked good judgment, and that he was eager to provide a story, but they weren't sure how far he would go to validate his story, meaning that they knew he would lie. It wouldn't be far fetched for him to lie to back his story. Doggone it, I've been reading this thing all day. And I like to show, what I was talking about instead of just, saying it or whatever. I wanted to take you to it, just like I wanted to take you to her email. But like I said, child, going through these 400 pages is something. But I already showed you how they could reach out to foreign entities for help in investigating an election. But he wasn't. And that email, and this is what I want to say. The Democrats are not really using the email. They're using this as a reference, as a focal point to say that the president is reaching out to Russia for information for help in his election. It's another one that they were saying, and this was so ridiculous. He said this on national television. I remember watching it that night. He said this on national television. I had it here for a while, so it's taking a little minute to let me see if I can refresh it. Let's see if it'll just pop up like that. But he said this on national television. Now, President Trump has access to every leader in the world. If he wanted Russia to really get Hillary's emails, if he really felt like that, when he met with Putin, he could have had that conversation privately. Privately. But see, the president had all of this information already. They knew about this information. We didn't. We didn't have access to all this information. So he was saying little things, within his own reason. Oh, come on, please don't do this. I mean, the Democrats are really going on. They're done. They are done. Like, I don't know. He has 35%. As far in the polls, he has 35% of the Black American vote, which is good, which is very good. Let me see. Is this one right here? It's very short. Yeah. This is the big whoop to do. If you haven't seen it. Oh no. Ask your healthcare provider about it.
That a person in our government, Katie, would delete or get rid of 33,000 emails. That gives me a big problem. After she gets a subpoena, she gets subpoenaed and she gets rid of 33,000 emails. That gives me a problem. Now, if Russia or China or any other country has those emails, I mean, to be honest with you, I'd love to see them. Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing. I think you will probably be rewarded mightily by our press.
Okay. And that's the big whoop to do that the Democrats are talking about. He reached out to Russia. Well, obviously, he was being sarcastic there. And he just said it was going to do him. He said the press was going to reward him, not that he was going to reward Russia or that Russia had something in it for him. I mean, seriously, that's what you're going off? Because in the trial, this is what they keep bringing up, that he publicly reached out to Russia. Not code infusion GPS. Yeah, still was just like they based this whole thing on somebody who wasn't credible, who they didn't even vet properly. Okay, I can't, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it now, but what I wanted to bring up was the fact that the Kremlin has information about Hillary. They know that. They know that the Kremlin has information and that they've been stockpiling information on Hillary for a minute. And I think she was afraid that they really were going to give, they were really going to not give Trump, but expose that information about her. And she was doing everything she could to stop it. The reason why they were doing this to her, it's like I said, nobody will ever acknowledge this right here. But I'm telling you right now, when Hillary was the Secretary of State, she went over, she went over to Russia and she got in conversation with the oligarchs there. Now these are people that Putin has to answer to and deal with. And she went over there complaining to them that the election process, he was tainting the election process, that it wasn't fair. They got some kind of fake protest, going together, and they used that as a way for her, to like have the election be monitored. It came down to the point where they had to get monitors for the election, and he was furious about that. He felt embarrassed. Imagine if you are in power, you're in power over your country, and people just like what they're doing to President Trump. You would feel embarrassed as a leader if somebody else can just come and just say all of these things about you or whatever without any facts or proof that and I'm not defending, Russia or whatever. I'm just saying, like, that's their election process. And I don't understand how it's not okay for nobody to interfere in our election process or give us information. But Hillary Clinton can go over to Russia interfering in their election. And this is why they hacked the DNC. That's what I wanted to bring up, that they hacked the DNC. They ain't hacked the RNC, they hacked the DNC. And the reason why they hacked the DNC is because she meddled in Russia's election. She went over there meddling in their election process. Regardless to whatever policies we have set up with them, we're not friends with them. Or when it's funny how we're not friends with them, but there are a lot of American businesses over there, and there are politicians invested in Russia. Maxine Waters' family is one of them. Have investment in Russia, so that kind of stuff I don't understand. But sure enough, that's what led us to this, and we need that whistleblower because the whistleblower will close up a lot of this for us. This is just like the investigation on Trump. They're just letting us know here how it started soon as he was nominated, how they were spying, placing people, around to talk to different people in his campaign, trying to set them up. This is what this is. So it's proof of what he was saying in the beginning, that they're wiretapping, they're spying on me. They were spying on him. They said they didn't have any concrete evidence that there were any wiretaps, but they had plants all around him. All around him, they had people around him. Okay, so I can't find that here or whatever because it's confused because the top part of the monitor it says one thing, but then the page is another thing or whatever. So I'm not gonna even try to sit here and try to find that. But look, like I told you, they use we know what a FFG is, a friendly foreign government, and it was okay for them to get solicit information from them about Trump, about the president. So America is sick of this, and I'm so happy that the Republican Party, I'm glad they're sticking together at least in defense because this is ignorant. This is ignorant. They have no facts whatsoever. They are now going at black people. I can't remember her name, but she was telling her story yesterday. They were really going in yesterday on the articles impeachment little thing there that they were having where they were arguing about which language to use or whatever. And she came out and she said, my family, my mother was a maid, and we didn't have nothing. I was poor, and I became a cop, And now look at me, and I'm in Congress or whatever. And that's to tell black people because they're mad because black people are leaving the Democratic Party that you want reparations, but look, you don't need reparations because I'm able to get here. Meanwhile, that woman is probably like 60 years old and benefited from affirmative action. See, back in their days, these 60-year-olds and stuff, all they had to do was graduate from high school. And that's what we thought. Like somebody in my age group, you grew up, you're born late 70s or whatever. You grew up as a kid in the 80s, 90s, teenager. By the time we got to the 90s, we thought that we were going to graduate from high school and we were just going to walk into these jobs, but it wasn't like that. What they did was set up a system where now you have to go to college. Now you need a degree for all of the jobs that you just needed a diploma for. Now you needed a degree. They ended on the job training. A lot of these people are boomers, benefited from on the job training. But she wants to come out and get mad at black people because 35% of us are going to vote for Trump. And she wanted to be known. And they will attack us. They will most certainly attack us. I want to tell you that right now the Criminal Justice Reform Act is just an executive order. And the Democrats, even though they talk all of the stuff about we know black Americans are disproportionately affected by the criminal justice system, they did not come across the aisle to make that a bill. They didn't. It's still an executive order. If President Trump goes, criminal justice reform goes, and continuation of railroading black males into the prison system will continue. And not only that, all you white people who are resisting and you're voting for President Trump, you too, when you start to speak out more, you'll find yourself being identified as some type of group, as they're about to do in New York, make another type of extremist thing. If you're expressing yourself, this is what they want to do. They're saying that it's for anti-Semitism, which partially it will be, but it's just another way to try to track down New Yorkers who disagree with the DNC, with the Democratic Party. Okay? So this is what our future will look like without President Trump. But yep, they're hypocrites. This thing is incriminating. Please read through this. Oh, look, it's right here. It's right here. Isn't that something? It was meant for me to read. 2 days later, on August 8th, 2016, Lisa Page text stroke. Trump's not ever going to become president, right? Right? And Stroke replied, no, he's not. We'll stop it. We'll stop it. Who the hell is Will? We need to know who is the will that's going to stop it when there's an election process that we participated in for hundreds of years now, or thousands or whatever. So who is the will that's going to stop? That is very important right there. That is the boom, boom, boom right there. We don't even need nothing else. What the hell are these people talking about? No, he's not. He's not going to become right. No, no, he's not. We're going to stop it. How? This is, I mean, that's sick. And we don't want this for any president, whether you like President Trump or not. This could be any kind. Say it's a president you like, and the other side decides, hey, payback. This could go on and on and on for the rest of our lives if they don't do something. If these people aren't punished and brought to justice, on and on and on. And wait till they get to you. Wait till they get to somebody like me just expressing themselves non-violently, no bombs, no gun, nothing. No violence whatsoever, but I'm expressing myself. And some people are listening. And that could therefore influence some people to, feel a certain way. And now because I've done that, and people may be saying some of the things, repeating some of the points that I'm making, now I'm some type of extremist. And now they could come monitor me for days and days and days, and I could make a joke and say something, and now all of a sudden I'm in jail now. I don't have all of the luxuries of being president and having all of the wonderful, brilliant attorneys that the president has around him, and neither do you. So if they can do this to the president, what will they do to us? They can make up stuff, base stuff on videos, base stuff on allegations. based stuff on hearsay. None of this stuff would stand up in a court. Leading people, all of those witnesses they were leading them. They answer a question. Oh, I think what you meant to say is this, and I think you meant to elaborate. What courtroom would they allow something like that? But this is it. This was it for me. I read a lot of this, and like I said, it's very incriminating on the FBI's part, and obviously it's incriminating for all the participants that took part in this crossfire hurricane investigation, which is the stupidest name I've ever heard in my life. Very stupid. But this is it right here. No, no, he's not. We'll stop it. They need to be. They should have been subpoenaed. And I guess this is what the Republicans were talking about, that they weren't allowed to bring certain people in to have them testify, because I would love to know what that means. What does that mean? What does that mean, stroke, or stroke? What does that mean? So this is a lot to go through. I'm hoping I'll come across this thing where I'm kind of stalling on here, but I doubt it. And Lisa Page was something. She didn't know this one. She didn't know that. She didn't know anything. You read the report, she knew every damn thing. She knew everybody. She's all up in here. She knew about the fusion GPS. She knew about that. The DNC, they had a law firm that was actually paying Steele, which, had they vetted this information, better off, they would have found that out, that the DNC was actually responsible for paying Steele to get this fake information about President Trump. The DNC need to be brought to their knees, along with Hillary Clinton, because this is all of this has one little booger bear behind it, and that's Hillary Clinton. That's the booger bear. She's in everything. All of this is about that one doggone woman. And Joe Biden, and the corruption that was going on. That's another thing. That Burisma was already being investigated. They were already being investigated for corruption. Joe Biden is an American elected official. He did a quid pro quo. Oh, crow. I keep saying crow. He did a quid pro quo because he said they were not going to get that $1 billion unless that prosecutor was fired. That's on tape. If any American politician is in any country doing anything illegal, we have the right to know that. We don't want any of our elected officials doing anything illegal in these countries. And we have the right to know how Hunter Biden got that job. Why was he placed there? I want to know why he was placed in that specific company. Why Burisma or whatever the hell the company? Why was he placed there? What was going to happen? I'd like to know more. Like, cause I don't, why Burisma? Why not any company? Why didn't he just go there and start his own company? Like, what was supposed to go down in that company? Some money laundering? What was supposed to go down there? And why was it so important that the prosecutor be fired? We need to know that they are American officials. So why they sitting up there trying to talk about how the hell was that going to help President Trump's election? People could have took that either or. Say they got the information came out that something is going on or whatever. People who are fans or love Joe Biden and his family could start attacking Trump. They're already doing it. And attacking his family, they're already doing. They've been doing that. They're sending white powder, spit on his son, make death threats, mock his minor child. So I mean, anything goes with all these people. They don't care. They do not care. So yeah, I can't find it about the Kremlin, but these people are guilty as I don't know what. Guilty, 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 guilty. There isn't going to be an impeachment, and I'm so happy when this stuff will be over with. But please come back and go through this because it's very important. So you're not out here just repeating rhetoric, just repeating what the Democrats tell you. Don't do that. Come back and read this stuff. And you better read how easy it is for them to just put an investigation on you. That's very important. You need to be demanding that people are held accountable. All right, guys. So that's it. I just wanted to come on and go over that right quick. And I'm very, very like to bring awareness to conversation in hopes that it sparks change. And I'm gone.
Hello.